Once, in a peaceful village nestled between towering mountains, lived a young girl named May. May had always felt a pull towards the unknown, a curiosity to explore the world and its wonders. Every evening, she would gaze at the distant horizon, wondering what lay beyond. One day, an old traveler arrived in the village, sharing stories of distant lands, untold wisdom, and forgotten paths. May was captivated by his tales and decided it was time to leave her village and embark on her own journey. With a small pack of essentials, May set out the next morning. Her first destination was a legendary forest known for its towering ancient trees and mysterious aura. As she entered the forest, the cool shade of the trees made her feel as if she had stepped into another world. May wandered deeper, and soon, she came across a strange figure sitting in the midst of the trees. It was an old monk, his robes faded with age, and his eyes closed in meditation. Curious, May approached the monk. She knelt before him and asked, "Wise one, how do I find true peace on my journey?" The monk opened his eyes, smiled gently, and said, "Peace is not something you find at the end of the journey, young one. It is something you carry with you along the way." Confused but thoughtful, May thanked the monk and continued deeper into the forest. As she walked, she pondered his words, realizing that perhaps peace was not a destination, but a way of traveling. After many days of wandering, May came upon a great river. The water was calm, but the current was strong, flowing steadily towards the horizon. She knew she needed to cross the river but saw no bridge in sight. At the river's edge stood a fisherman, patiently casting his net. May approached him and asked, "Fisherman, how do I cross this river without a bridge?" The fisherman smiled and replied, "Do not fear the current. You must learn to move with it, not against it. Trust the water, and it will guide you." Taking his advice to heart, May carefully stepped into the river. At first, the water felt cold, and the current pushed against her, but she slowly began to relax and move with the flow. Step by step, she crossed the river, feeling more in tune with the rhythm of nature. On the other side, she looked back and smiled, realizing the fisherman's wisdom. Life, like the river, is full of currents. Sometimes you need to trust the flow and not fight against it. As May's journey continued, she reached a vast desert. The heat was intense, and the path seemed endless. Every step felt heavier than the last, but she pressed on, determined not to give up. After many hours of walking, May spotted a lone figure on the horizon. As she got closer, she saw it was an old woman, sitting on a stone under the blazing sun. May asked, "How do I keep going when the road seems so long and hard?" The old woman smiled and said, "One step at a time, child. Do not think of the whole journey. Just focus on the next step, and before you know it, you will have come farther than you imagined." May took the old woman's words to heart. She stopped worrying about how far she had to go and focused on each step. With every small step forward, her burden felt lighter, and she found new strength in herself. Finally, after many days of travel, May reached the top of a high mountain. From there, she could see all the places she had visited, the forest, the river, the desert. She realized that each part of her journey had taught her something valuable. At that moment, May understood the true meaning of her journey. It wasn't about reaching a single destination or finding all the answers. It was about learning, growing, and embracing the lessons along the way. Every step, every challenge, had shaped her into the person she was now. As she stood at the mountaintop, May smiled, filled with peace. She realized that the journey itself had always been the reward.